Hello, welcome to She Boss Talk. I am Shantae Arati. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Happy Friday. I am coming on with a live update, breaking news regarding the EIDL grant and EIDL loan program. I spoke on this the other day about how the EIDL has been stolen, $31 billion from Congress or from the Senate. So I want to go into more detail, and I want to elicit you all's assistance, every entrepreneur, every small business owner out there, so we can try to get this money back before it is gone. So I want to go into more detail on that, and then explain some of the updates regarding the huge increase in approvals of your EIDL loans. Also, the release of the latest fact sheet, right? That's not the fact sheet, but the FAQs that I mentioned the other day when the SBA did a webinar mentioning that they were going to be updating their FAQs, and they have done it, and it's effective August the 4th. So this FAQ should help you all. Now, all the resources are always, it will be pinned to the comments or in the description and the show notes that are there for you, as well as some other places that I'm going to be asking you to go to, so that we can use our voice, advocate for ourselves to try to save this money for this program, so it gets out to more small business owners. So again, just want to thank you all for tuning in. Thank you to all of our subscribers. Do follow us, connect with us wherever we are on social media, especially on our YouTube. We're almost at 25K subscribers. So we're very excited about that. Do give this thumbs up, give it a like, hit that love button so more people see this video. Do share this out for everybody you know, because again, we're pressed for time here. This is a sense of emergency for people to apply, or businesses to apply for the program before the money is taken or before it runs out, so you can get a financial lifeline for your business. So do come on in. Let me know who you are, where you're hailing from, what your business is. I definitely appreciate it, because I get a chance to talk to and meet all you wonderful small business owners. Just got off the phone with two of you all. One may be watching right now. So shout out, do comment if it is you that I just got finished speaking to. So let's just get right to it. So the EIDL program has been up and running since the CARES Act. We know that there were bills that were passed in late 2020 and the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021 that created more of a fund, billions of dollars towards the targeted EIDL grants that have been made available up to $15,000 for small businesses that need it the most. We also know that the EIDL loan program has been a very popular program. It's the Economic Injury Disaster Loan Program that they recently, a few months ago, expanded to $500,000 maximum that you can get for your business. The intent is also to increase that to the $2 million that it should have been in the beginning when the program was launched under the law, the CARES Act law. That's what it was intended, but we know that didn't happen. This program is open through December 31st of 2021. Now let me explain what happened. So the Senate is working on a bipartisan infrastructure bill, a deal. They're trying to negotiate this bill to get it to pass the Senate. Now, yesterday they were expecting to pass it, okay? And it didn't happen. So I'm happy it did not happen, because that buys us some time, right? It buys us some time to get our applications in before they reallocate this money. So what they did was they're trying to they have this $1 trillion infrastructure plan or deal. And where do they get the money? So, they had to negotiate on that. So they want to take over, or a little bit less than $300 billion from COVID relief funds, or what they consider is unallocated, unused. Well, why are they unallocated? Why is it unused money? And so part of this is they want to take from programs that are right now operating and helping small businesses that have been slow, that have been very challenged. They just started implementing improvements to get more funding out the door. And here you, our Congress, want to then snatch the money from small business. Okay, so $31 billion is a lot. Can you imagine how many business owners that would help? I just got finished saying yesterday how some businesses only need $5,000, $10,000 to save their business, to keep their doors open, to be able to pay their employees, to get that new equipment that they need, to outfit their business with more PPE equipment and services. Okay, so the money is needed. I talk to businesses every single day. So again, they're taking money not only from the loan program, but they're wanting to take $17 billion from the targeted advance cash grants that are right now have $27.5 billion left to fund small businesses. So here's what I need you all to do. Like, if you have connections to the news, a magazine, news broadcast, please let me know. I've been doing this since the height of the pandemic. I really want to get on news outlets and explain the programs and the challenges that small business owners are having, some of the injustice and some of the inequities that we find in some of these programs. We need our voices to be heard. Can't just be one of us. We know that there's power in numbers, so we need all of us to join in. So I have put in the description in the show notes the link to where to find your congressmen and women, because you all ask me that all the time. You can simply Google them, but let me make it easier for you to take action. I need you all to call and email your congressmen and women. Every state has one. You have one. They are supposed to be serving on your behalf. And I need you to call them and let them know that you need your EIDL money. You want your $10,000 grant. You want your loan. You want it processed. And to take that money from the program is unfair when we have so many businesses that still need relief, that have not been helped. And those that have been helped still need more help. We're at the height of the pandemic. Okay, so it's on the rise with the Delta variant. So it's not like the pandemic has poofed and disappeared. We're still in it, and it's still impacting small businesses all across the country. Okay, so I need you all to do that. I need you to go to Twitter. Every single one of them is on Twitter. They have a Twitter account. Go there, tag them in a post, and let them know that you do not want them to take your $31 billion from the EIDL program, money that belongs to you and other small businesses that are out there. So we need everybody to do this, okay? And then I need you also to contact your Small Business Administration, known as the SBA. They're the ones that are administering most of all of these different grant and loan stimulus programs for the small business community. I need you all to contact your district offices. So what I made it easy for you. I put the link in the description so you can easily locate your district office and have their contact number and their emails. We need to be blowing up their emails and blowing up their phones so that they hear us, so that they can also advocate on our behalf to Congress. If you are part of any business professional associations, there are a lot out there, like the Restaurant Association, the Association for Small Business, the Association for Self-Employed. All of these, reach out to those leaders, ask them, what are they doing? Do you know that they are about to take $31 billion from the EIDL program? Do you know that we're still suffering? We're still in need. How can you help us? How can you advocate on our behalf to stop this from happening? Okay, so these types of things, this type of action really does work. Okay, it really does work. We've seen it work time and time again. That's how the improvements have happened throughout the pandemic to a lot of these programs. It took us as entrepreneurs and small business owners speaking up for ourselves and on behalf of other business owners in our community. It actually works, okay? Because I said also if you're struggling, challenged with these programs, with your applications, even calling your Congress men and women to have them step in to support you or to help expedite your application process, it works. I did it in 2020. Someone yesterday, one of my peers just sent me a lengthy email explaining her thankfulness for me pushing and saying not to give up and giving her the contact information to call her congressmen and women to get them to help expedite the situation at the SBA to make sure that you all get funds. So the information is there. I hope that you will even call on your friends, call them, send them a text message, send them an email, ask them to petition to their congressmen and women and to the SBA office, and going to Twitter. That is what's going to get make a change happen. And then go to YouTube, wherever you are. Go to TikTok, right? Whatever platform you on that you have an audience, leverage that audience to help us get this message out. This can really blow up. It can go viral across the board and make this change happen. We know it happened because advocates stepped up because they wanted to take $50 billion that they really didn't know that they had from the unemployment benefits. And they put that to a stop because of advocacy groups and small businesses speaking up and saying, no, you can't do that. So you're going to have to find money from somewhere else to fund this infrastructure bill, because we can't afford right now to take money from small businesses that they need to survive. Record number of businesses. This has never happened in my lifetime, of businesses that have closed. Most will never close again. Let's give them an opportunity to reopen another business, or those that are right on the verge of closing. Let's help save their business, right? So most of these are small businesses with 10 employees or less that are the ones that are most impacted, right? And so they don't need hundreds of thousands of dollars and millions of dollars. All they need is a couple thousands of dollars. That $15,000 will transform a business. And so that is what is available right now. So if you get your applications in, that's what I'm encouraging you to do. If you have not already applied for this program, it is for if you have, your business has to be located in a low income community. And so if you are home-based business, that means that your home base, that address must be in a low income community based on the IRS code and the SBA map, which they have on their website. Okay, so I want to make sure that that is clear, but we need as many of you all to be applying as possible, because that then becomes allocated dollars that they can't pull from, right? Because you've applied before the new law went into effect, before they can even do that, right? But it still has to pass the Senate and then pass the House. So we just want to delay it. We would not only want to delay it, we just want them to find money from somewhere else and leave the COVID relief to be COVID relief. Because we're not out of the woods yet. We still need relief. And so for this program, again, to qualify for the $10,000 or the balance thereof, you need to be in a low income community, have 300 employees or less, and then be able to prove you had suffered a 30% decrease in gross sales or gross revenue in a period in 2020 compared to 2019. And then to get the supplemental $5,000, you need to have 10 employees or less, still be in a low income community, and then be able to show a 50% decrease in gross revenue, gross sales, gross receipts. We still have all of us that are advocating, me and other YouTube influencers and advocates across the board, that are still advocating for them to expand it outside of low income communities, expand it, allow every business that applied in 2020 that should have gotten the $10,000 that by law Congress wrote and said that we were entitled to the $10,000. The SBA decided to parse mill it and only give out $1,000. Then they passed this bill to give out the targeted, and then put these parameters to really cater to the underserved. There's nothing wrong with that. But the businesses that should have gotten it in the first place, why bypass them? Let's go back and get them. And there's been bills that have been proposed to do just that. So they need to do that. Go back to the bill, pass another bill if you need to, add some more money, expand the programs. But the fact is that we're running out of, businesses are running out of time. But that's what we don't have, is a lot of time on our hands to keep our business up and going. And staying afloat and surviving this pandemic that we're in. So again, if you have not applied to the program, I would stop what you're doing after this video and then go apply to the program. Like, so one of my peers actually told me yesterday that she was talking to one of her business owner friends and said, "Did you get the invite from the SBA?" And they like nonchalantly, "Yes, but I haven't gotten to it." Yeah, you cannot sit on things like that. I said before, if you are trying to get funding, and we've helped up many thousands get millions in free funding for their business, you cannot take a passive approach. You cannot just put it on the back burner and then hope it'll still be there, be available when you get to it next week, next month, or next year. It may not be here. And we saw that happen in 2020, where it ran out of funds really quickly. Okay. So there's still billions. Let's get those applications in now. Get them in now. If you need help, we have resources. We have explainer videos. I do one-on-one consults. I just did 2 this week. I just had another lady want to book a consult if you need that one-on-one assistance. But some of you, I do explainer, walkthrough, step-by-step videos all here on our YouTube channel. So you will see how to connect with us scrolling across the screen. So you can just go to the video you need. We have an EIDL playlist, and then get those applications in. Appeal the denials if you get denied, but know what you're appealing now, know how to go through that process. And we have videos on that. Now, with that said, the SBA has made significant improvements to this program, has exponentially increased the number of approvals and those that have been funded, their modifications. So the modifications came after they increased the maximum amount of to $500,000 that you can get in loans. So you were funded the loan when it was 150,000 max. Now they really bumped it up to 500,000. So you can get the total of what you qualify for, or you can get less and come back later and get the remainder. So you do not have to take or accept all the full amount all at once. But it is an amazing program, and I will go through just briefly through the FAQ in just a second. So those increases are coming. More and more small businesses are telling me that they've gotten approved for their increases. They've gotten funded their increases. And if you're one of those that's still waiting, the SBA is on target to go through all of the ones that were in the pipeline. That's 600,000 businesses that are in the pipeline to get loan modifications, to have their loan funds increased. Okay. So if you're going through that process, mid-August is when it is expected to be through all of those applications to get a determination. Okay. Whether you're going to be either approved and funded or denied, and you're going to appeal it. Okay. That's how the process goes. And so the other big news regarding EIDL is that they updated their FAQ. So that's the page that I'm on right now. It's actually a 8-page document. I'm not expecting you to read it because it's not that visible. The links are always in the comments, so you are in the description, so you can just click on the link and go to this FAQ. This is going to be really important, really helpful for a lot of you all, because we know the SBA has said that they know it's been confusing. They have not been consistent in the information and letting you all know how the process operates, timeline, statuses, how those different things work. Well, this is an update for that, and they will continue to make improvements not only to this, but outreach and communication to small businesses to help make this process easier, because we know it has been a rough road over the more than a year and a half with this program. So I just want to point out some key things before I close out, because I'm not going to be on here long. Just wanted to bring you this breaking news to really encourage us to take action on behalf of ourselves and other small businesses. So really quickly, the FAQs have been updated. These are effective August the 4th of 2021. So it goes through an introduction, but one of the first section it goes through, and I have gone through this in other videos, is really explaining the program. And you can see how beneficial this program is and how helpful it is to small businesses, how much you can get. It goes through the loan terms. I don't know, I don't see it at the top if it explains the deferment part of the program, but these loans are even deferred. So you defer for 22 months. So depending on when you took out the loan, that's giving you breathing room to be able to use the funds to recover from COVID, build back up, because it's going to take businesses 2, 3, 4, and 5 years to try to recover and get back to where they were pre-COVID. Okay. So they know that they don't want you to be overburdened. And then when that 22 months expires, then you have a lower payment because you have a 30-year maturity date, right? So that lowers your payments, meaning that it will be much lower than it would if you were to get any type of traditional types of lending. So when you go to this document, that's what's outlined in section 1. But I want to scroll down because it gives a lot of information, but I get a lot of questions on tax returns is one. And so they have on the screen, they give you based on your entity type, what verifications you need to submit or what tax documentation or information that they're looking at in your tax returns. It is outlined here for your business entity type and how you file your taxes. It is different. So if you don't file a Schedule C, you need to file, if you file a S Corp election, then you need to follow that as that IRS form. If you self-employed and you file on a Schedule C, you need to follow that. That will tell you what they're using and how they calculate. They even go through the calculation because people have asked me, well, how do they calculate the loan amount? How do they make that determination? That is outlined in here as well. But I really want to just stop on declines. Okay. So when you get a chance, if you have been declined, especially for unverified information, because that's a big one, go to section 4, decline COVID EIDL applicants. And it goes through and lets you know what types of declines it could be. Unsatisfactory credit history. So we already know that either your credit score is below the 570 or there's some issue in your credit. It could be foreclosure, could be bankruptcy or some other issue that they will tell you. So it won't be that clear to say unsatisfactory credit score or credit history. You can call them and find out, and they will tell you, okay, what you need to submit in order to overcome that denial to be able to get approved. It has happened. And it can be something as simple as you're right below the credit score. And really in a couple of weeks, you can increase your credit score and then reapply or not reapply, but file the request for reconsideration. And then you can get approved. And if I'm not mistaken, they use Experian. Okay. So you know that there's 3 credit bureaus. I believe they use Experian. If somebody correct me if I'm wrong, one of our viewers, if that is incorrect, but I believe that is the case. Unverifiable information. And in the webinar, they said, if you have unverifiable information and you're looking at this and you still can't decipher, or you're getting on the phone, you can also reach out to your SBA district office and they can kind of help you navigate and figure out how to overcome the unverifiable information. So unverifiable information, there are 3 main reasons an applicant will be declined for this reason. Number 1, during the review process, there were 1 or more items in review that caused the SBA to question the validity of a certain information in your application. So we know that that's going to happen, right? For fraud and non-fraud related, right? Sometimes there's people that put incorrect information, or you have a newer business, or you put more employees than you actually had. They have ways of verifying that. This can occur as a result of a failed identity verification and international IP address, client device associated with fraud, or high risk IP address. I know 2 people tried to apply for capital through us, and they could not apply because there was an IP issue that needs to be addressed. So you have to figure out what that IP issue is, or use another computer, but that will prevent you from moving forward. If you do not respond within 7 days to request information from the SBA, your application will be declined, and you may then go and request a reconsideration to reactivate your application. And so I've said before, I know many people that have applied to file reconsideration 2, 3, and 4 times or more. But let's try to lessen the number of times you have to resubmit by getting a clear understanding, making sure that you're addressing the specific reason for your denial, and then submitting verification documents that are either going to disprove their determination or show that you have made corrections to resolve the problem. Okay. So it could be an error on their end. It could be an error on your end. Either way, you need to prove your position. Okay. Second, federal law limits loan amount. So together with its affiliates, the $2 million, SBA is unable to approve an application because the business together with its affiliates has reached the $2 million limit. You may request reconsideration to reactivate your application if you believe the assessment was made in error. So if you're trying to apply for more than you've already been approved for, you may get that error as well. And then number 3, federal law limits COVID EIDL to small businesses only. So you must meet the eligibility requirements. To be eligible for COVID EIDL, generally the applicant must not exceed 500 employees or the SBA size standard for its industry. So each industry has a size standard. Applicants that do not meet this standard for small business will be declined. But if you disagree with the decision, you may request reconsideration to reactivate your application and request a formal size determination by completing the SBA Form 355. Okay, so then again, you can go to the link and go through this yourself. Just go back and look at what the reason where you were denied and see if it is represented on here. We also have denial videos explaining different reasons why you may have been denied. We know the SBA did some mass denials, which forced people to do reconsiderations, but denied does not mean that you will never get approved. You just have to go through that reconsideration process. Also, ineligible due to non-U.S. status. So you have to prove that you are a U.S. citizen or you are a permanent green card holder, and you can work with them on that. Okay, and owners of 20% or more of the applicant's business must be a U.S. citizen. Okay, so just think about that. If you have partnership, if you're in partnership with 2, 3, 4, 5 other people, what percentage is is a U.S. citizen? Okay, so business activity is not eligible. So you may be declined because you just did not meet the eligibility standards for the program anyway. And then there will be, if you were never eligible, either due to you're in one of these industries or your business wasn't in operation as of January 31st of 2020, you were never eligible for this program. So no matter how many requests for reconsiderations you submit, you will never be able to get approved because you were never eligible for the program. But it actually lists out here some of the activities that they do not fund through this program: payday lending, cash checking, gambling, adult entertainment, pawn shops, real estate developers, insurance companies, any illegal activities under state, federal, and local laws, such as a marijuana shop, okay? And then economic injury not being able to be substantiated is another big one, because if you didn't make any money, they're not thinking that you had any loss, okay? So I've actually had people come to me and say they've been in business for years and haven't made any money. I don't know how you've been in business for years and you haven't made any money. Then you definitely want to think the business or your strategy or doing some other type of business. But you can't just say, okay, I'm in business, and you're not making any effort to generate sales in your business. And if you haven't shown that, then it's going to come back that you did not have an economic loss. Know that this is not for new startups that's seeking funding for their startup. This is for businesses that were impacted by COVID-19. So COVID-19 impacted your business or your ability to make sales in your business, your ability to get clients in your business. And that is the reason for this program. That's why it's called the Economic Injury Disaster Loan Program. So if you're a startup or business that wants other types of funding, SBA has other types of funding, and we also have videos related to that on alternative PPP and EIDL funding, how to fund your business, how to fund a startup for free. We have all of those videos on our channel. Okay. So I hope this has been helpful for you. Again, all of the information I have visited today is on in our description, in our show notes, and I will pin it always to the comments. And if you have questions, I will circle back as well. I do see you all out here. Just really quickly, just going to see if there are any pertinent questions that I may be able to answer before I sign off here. Okay. So I see a lot of comments. Hello, everyone. A lot of comments out here. And we know the 4506T is still an issue that we need the SBA to resolve. And we're still waiting on that resolution, okay? Because you're going to, for the EIDL program, you will need to provide not only your tax returns, but your 4506T, and they need to be able to match it with the IRS master file, which we know if you filed late, the IRS is so far behind that it may not be in their master file, which will hold up your ability to get approved for your EIDL loan, increase, or the EIDL grant funds. Okay. But shout out to everyone that has been patient. Shout out to everyone that has been, just pushing to get the money that you deserve to get. It has not been easy for many of us. And I just love getting the testimonials. Several just shared with me this week about how much they worked, how hard they didn't give up. And at the end of the day, they wound up getting it. Like one just reported she got her approval for her loan after being denied over and over and over. She followed the steps that we gave her, and she's now been approved and funded for $100,000. Okay. So we just, again, collectively have to come together, use our voice, use our power. Let them know that we're not going to sit idly by and let our businesses just fall to the wayside, right? They're in office they get paid. During COVID, they continue. Congress continues to get paid. None of them sacrificed their paycheck. But we all sacrificed our revenues and our paychecks and our sales and our clients. We had to close up shop. We didn't have a choice in the matter. And so now we're trying to recover, and you want to take $31 billion from a program. And first of all, you want to take almost $3 billion from COVID relief. Now, if it is unspent, and we know there's unspent or unallocated money, that is not unallocated because there's not people to give the money to. It's unallocated because they have not appropriately administered the programs. They have technical problems, and they're not doing the outreach that needs to be done to reach all the small business owners that are in need. I mean, so again, we have to keep pushing and stay on them to do what's right on behalf of all the small businesses. So thank you so much for tuning in. As always, again, drop your comments. I'll circle back. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend, and I hope you continue to push forward towards your goals. Don't give up. Keep pushing. It's right there when you're ready to give up that miracles happen. And so we don't want you to give up. I want to hear your success story, like I've heard so many thousands of other businesses' success story. And I want to share in that success and congratulate you and celebrate you along the way. So continue to be the boss with Amplifying Impact. Continue to stay safe and stay in good health. Have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful weekend ahead.